quick release.
Yeah.
So if you go hold that down like that and fire it when it's on, that will go pinging off, and it'll put a nice dent in your car, like the one in my fucking passenger door.
Oh no!
Look at the twat there.
Sick. So it's not got a lance on it or anything like that. That's just how it comes.
It has got a lance on it, but I prefer this is my little stubby gun. That will rip your hand apart from that distance. It's not a great thing. I need to get a bigger fan so it's not quite as powerful. You know, if you put that on your arches, you'll flick a load of paint off.
Right, okay.
So you need to use this. I'll show you how close I'll use it.
Okay.
Right. And whenever you press it, always fire it away from the car. Down there. Not towards my van.
Okay.
But never go like that. Because if in the meantime, if you've picked it up there accidentally, you've knocked out and then you fire it, ping. Yeah. Always go, every time. Quick pull. Do like that, but no more than that. Otherwise you'll risk damage. Yeah. So I'll let you know now.
Are you still protected a little bit from that stuff that I was on about? Stuff.
I'm sure it does the job. I'm just a apprentice. Yeah, if you want to rinse off your...
Hey guys, Joe here at JP Details and welcome back to the new unit. Today is a Sunday, although I prefer to call them Sunday Fundays as I usually prefer to do something that is a bit more enjoyable. Whether it be going to see friends and family or ranking up on the latest Call of Duty, but sometimes I just can't keep myself away from the unit.
The health and safety police have arrived. It's good. The iron products, you don't really want to your hands. The shampoo and stuff is all fine since the iron and tyre remover. Extra large, the way I like it.
You like it large.
Extra large.
My mate Matt has come over to give his car a wash whilst I do mine alongside. I guess one of the perks of having a detailer for a mate will usually mean that you'll have a good selection of products and bits of kit at your disposal to give your own car a good seeing to. Matt is a good mate of mine and we've actually known each other for over 25 years. Pretty crazy considering we're both 31 and 32 with me being the slightly younger one. We enjoyed our Costa breakfast and soon began the task of giving both the Mark V Golf Gti and the Focus RS a good wash and a ceramic topper. Since the big detail on the Focus was finished some 10 months back, the car has actually only been washed 4 times. In fact, this video is the 4th maintenance wash that the Focus is getting. I haven't captured every maintenance wash on camera, it just really hasn't been getting washed all that often. We all know that after you've spent a few hours detailing, paint correcting and ceramic coating a car, then that car will need a bit of extra care and attention on the maintenance washes going forwards. I sure as heck don't want to have spent 275 hours of my life for my efforts to be quickly undone. I would say though that this particular maintenance wash is probably the most carefree I've ever been with the car. Distractions on the day perhaps and having to sort stuff out for somebody else meant I couldn't dedicate 100% of my own attention to my own car. The Focus is reasonably dirty as it has been a while since its last wash, although whilst we're on the topic of washing my own cars, then since employing Ryan Cobble Cobbler, who is an absolute pain in the arse at the best of times, does mean that I can free up a bit of time to maintain my own vehicles, and whilst on that topic, I may or may not have recently acquired a new daily vehicle. The reveal video upload will be out within a few days I imagine. First step as always then, let's get the wheels, tyres and arches clean. We may as well complete this area first with our dedicated bits of kit and product, get them all sorted and out of the way, and then we'll combat the bodywork. By getting the entire vehicle wet straight off the bat is actually pretty pointless. Let's say the sun came out and within 10 minutes it had dried some of that water on, with darker coloured cars being the worst remember, we'd then have water spotting to deal with at the end of the wash, which is never ideal. The time it takes to clean all 4 corners on the car, which could be anything from 20 to 40 minutes, taking into consideration of what type of clean/decon they are having. This would be a long time for that water on the bodywork to potentially dry and cause watermarks or etching. Pre-rinse each wheel area one at a time, or if you want you can even do all 4 in one go, it's completely up to you, and then get stuck in with your wheel cleaning products and brushes. For my relatively recently painted, polished and ceramic coated set of Sparco Assetto Garras, sporting a set of Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's all with one track day under the belt on, I'm actually going to use iron fallout remover on them for the first time. Swirl marks in gloss finished wheels are nearly as unsightly as swirl marks in the paintwork, with gloss black wheels being the worst affected. The best process would be to give the wheel the initial rinse, apply the iron fallout remover product, then give it some time to dwell before rinsing back off. Then jump in with a wash mitt and a bucket of clean washing water. This process is going to remove the amount of brake dust before making any direct contact, which would essentially be with millions and millions of small ferrous or metal particles. If these particles get brushed into gloss finished wheels, they will scratch endlessly. In fact, even if you had a clean wheel, a clean bucket of shampoo, a clean Swiss Wax detail brush let's say, it'd still scratch from the aggressiveness of that brush. If a detail factory brush can mar the blue paint on the car, which it did with my Focus, then a Swiss Wax detail brush on delicate gloss black for example, would be a horrendous amount of marring to put into fresh looking rims. One of them detail factory brushes would be the better option, but what I tend to do with nicely finished wheels is to clean them with a much softer wash mitt. The only areas I'll use a brush for would be the inner barrels, the wheel nuts and the tyre sidewall. It isn't quite how I've done it in the video, but since watching a video uploaded to Facebook by a detailer called Blake Car Chem, well he demonstrated this proper technique, and when I saw it I asked myself why I wasn't already doing the same. I must have seen that video after recording this footage, otherwise I'd have followed the same technique. The video can be found on the Blake Car Chem Facebook business page, so please do give him a follow. When all 4 wheels, tyres and arches have been cleaned, then let's go ahead and rinse down the exterior. You don't have to be overly obsessive at this point, just knock off the loose stuff, cover each panel and get the vehicle nicely rinsed off. Obviously if the vehicle is heavily contaminated from months of not being washed, then a bit more time will be required. Apply your chosen snow foam to the entire car including the inner arches and give it some time to dwell. This is going to soften up the more stubborn dirt and grime, so when we do follow with the pressure washer, which is where I will spend a bit more time, the vast majority of dirt will be removed, or at least that's the idea. Ceramic coatings protect the paintwork in a completely different way to the outdated traditional waxes and sealants, so even though the Focus doesn't get washed on the reg, I know the detailed finish underneath is only a few hours away from being revealed once again. Although we do have some staining in the paint from a certain ceramic topper, so the car will need to be fully IPA'd to hopefully remove 100% of the staining and not put any marring in. A protection boost will be required afterwards, so I may apply a layer of Swiss Wax shield so the car finally matches the plate, although ceramic coatings are 10 times better than wax at the very least. After applying the first layer of snow foam, the heavens opened and washed all of the snow foam away, partially cleaning the floor at the front of the unit in the process, so not all bad. I applied a second layer of snow foam because, like I say, it has been a while since the car was last washed, and you will find that if the grime stays on there for a while and it gradually builds and builds, unless you have super magical paint, which I don't, then you probably won't be able to remove 100% of the dirt and grime prior to making any direct contact with the wash mitt. Just remove as much as you can. 2 soakings of snow foam for me on my own vehicle where time isn't of the essence. 2 nice coverings with maximum dwelling time to soften up as much of that dirt and grime as possible. Ceramic coatings are tough, very tough in fact, but I wouldn't recommend using a really strong snow foam with every single wash. Something like Bilt Hamber Auto Foam would be okay, but it would need to be a relatively weak to medium dilution as it isn't pH neutral. Gtechniq CSR Black ceramic coatings can withstand chemicals of up to pH 12, I believe. I tend to stay away from Bilt Hamber Auto Foam on ceramic coated vehicles as it is quite a strong snow foam. I'll use something like Sam's Detailing Snow Foam, which is pH neutral, nice and foamy, and conveniently I already have multiple bottles of the stuff that Sam sent out. But if it works, smells good and it does what I need it to do, then there's no need to change. The second layer of snow foam went on a treat, and it's stress-free days like today while spending time with a mate whilst working on my own pride and joy that make me realise that I really do like my job. I wouldn't change it for the world. I spent the time required to rinse off the focus, and at this point I have no idea what my mate is getting up to in the background. He's always been one to wash his own cars, and he does have a half decent selection of Halford's purchased car care products, and he does like a clean and shiny car. One thing that does bug me though about him is that he doesn't care for tyre dressing. For me, this is one of the most vital finishing touches to bring the vehicle together. The Focus was washed with a microfiber madness in Credi wash mitt, which was the best wash mitt I could find, and again I spent the time required to clean each panel on the Focus whilst washing the mitt out frequently and thoroughly. You can flip the mitt over to help cover slightly bigger distances, but you must keep any circular motions to a minimum. Only gentle pressure is required, and usually after one pass the panel will be clean, perhaps twice if the car hasn't been cleaned in a while, so mine probably was the latter. If you are as lucky as me, then at this point you are now washing a relatively recently ceramic coated vehicle. Gtechniq CSL Black was applied around 10 months ago. This is the 4th maintenance wash within that time, and on each occasion it's always had a different ceramic coating topper of some kind. Since recording this video, the Focus has actually had a 5th maintenance wash where I used Gtechniq Easy Coat for the first time. I didn't record a video, but I will do one on a different car whilst using Gtechniq's latest product. It's very good. The previous ceramic toppers that I've used on the Focus, including a few extra products, are firstly Sam's Detailing Ceramic Boost, followed with Maguire's Last Touch Spray Detailer, which I did make a video on at the start of the first lockdown. The second topper was a ceramic detailer after a maintenance wash, the third was a spray wax after a wash before Concourse of Elegance, the fourth is Polar Blast, which we are doing today, followed with Easy Detail Gloss Boss. The most recent topper, which is number 5, was Gtechniq Easy Coat, followed with Maguire's Last Touch. With the above being carried out in the last 10 months on a Gtechniq CSL Black base, the Focus does repel water pretty well. The 2-bucket washing technique should be relatively self-explanatory, which is going to help us to clean the car without putting any swirl marks in, or at least reduce the chance of inflicting any swirl marks anyway, depending how you undertake the 2-bucket wash technique. This is very important for a vehicle that is currently swirl free. 1 bucket for the wash solution to wash the car with, and 1 bucket for rinsing the mitt out to house all of the dirty water and the dirt particles. Take your time to clean your motor to make sure you do a professional job.
This was filthy. Hey? This is filth. My car. Yeah. Absolutely filth. The shampoo suds were rinsed off the car from every surface, crack and crevice. We then opted for the Auto Glym Polar Blast Snow Foam Effect ceramic topper thing applied via a snow foam lance.
This is the first time that I'll be using the product, and in all honesty, due to the focus being incredibly water repellent as it is, it was difficult to notice much of a difference. Hence why I'll be showing you Gtechniq Easy Coat on a non-detailed car. Either way, the Auto Glym ceramic topper snow foam thing did seem pretty decent, and it was very easy to use. My mate brought it with him, so it would have been rude not to try it. It didn't leave any noticeable marks, any stains or smears in either of the cars, and we more than likely did leave it on for a bit longer than what we should have done. My mate's car isn't ceramic coated, so perhaps you may be able to see a difference on the Golf. The method of applying the Auto Glym Polar Blast I believe is pretty simple. Dilute to the recommended mix and apply to the entire car via a snow foam lance. Wait for a certain amount of time, which I can't remember what it is, and then rinse it all off thoroughly.
Otherwise it will dry off.
Yeah.
Clean at last.
Looks like good stuff, that spray on stuff. It's really made it bead, hasn't it?
Yeah, difficult to tell mine.
Yeah, so mine was beading a bit.
You can then finally dry the car with microfiber towels or a air dryer. However, I do always find that the vehicles need a contact drying method, i.e. with a detail spray and a plush microfiber drying towel. This will aid in removing any minor marks, smears or bits of the ceramic coating topper that happen to dry before I rinsed it off. A final contact detail spray stage is a must to bring out the best of the paint. Potentially, if you were using pure filtered water, then you could simply let the vehicle dry naturally. However, if you did use a ceramic topper, you may still find yourself with a few minor/major smears depending on how well you applied the topper. In my opinion, a blow dryer followed with a drying towel and detail spray is the best option. Perhaps a spray wax, spray sealant or a ceramic detail spray if I'm feeling fancy. We did just that in the footage, which was to fully blow dry both vehicles, followed with myself using Easy Detail Gloss Boss detail spray. My mate used a ceramic detailer by Car Chem, and both products went on easily enough and they both produced a nice finish. The benefits of blow drying are a contact-free way to remove water from your vehicle without the inconvenience of resulting in a soaking wet drying towel. And of course you can remove the water from the hard to get to areas. Blow dry and then use a small fluffy drying towel to make those loads on the washing machine a little less frequent. And on that topic of washing machines, then mine broke the other day after washing 1.7 million microfiber towels. It's now broke. Here's to the next track day or grubby day out driving in the RS, but for now it stays tucked away, so my time hasn't been wasted. I finished mine off with cleaning the door shuts and sills, I dressed the tyres, and I also gave the interior a well overdue maintenance valet. It's good to have the car back and clean again, and I'll make sure it stays like that for a bit because I simply won't drive it. As always, thank you for watching, please drop the video a like to show some easy support, and please make sure you are subscribed to the channel so you don't miss future content. Feel free to give me a follow on Facebook and Instagram, just search JP Details, and don't forget to check out Blake Car Care, I'll put his link in the description, and I'll hopefully catch you in the next one.